I think I will stop here so that we can have a discussion. Thank you very much.
Today at the City Club of Cleveland, we are listening to a special program featuring Rajmohan Gandhi, professor at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and author of Gandhi, The Man, His People, and the Empire. Now we would like to return to our speaker for our traditional City Club question and answer period. We welcome questions from everyone, including guests. Holding the microphones today are Outreach Coordinator Deborah Agassi and Director of Community Relations, Missy Toms. May we have the first question, please? Professor.
Dr. Gandhi, a man exists in his own life and then as represented and understood by others. Especially a very public person has an image which in Gandhi's case has lived on many, many years beyond his death. One of the ways I learned about him, besides being taught by P.K. Saha, a great teacher at my school, was through the movie Gandhi. And I would ask you to comment on its accuracy, its poignance, how do you feel about it, and perhaps touch on the larger subject of how you hope through your book to alter the understanding of Gandhi in the world at large.
Well, first, thank you. First of all, I would say that on the whole, the Attenborough film is a great film. It is a great introduction to Gandhi. Obviously, a film only conveys a small portion of a person's life. A filmmaker has to take some cinematic license. It may not be literally accurate, every single thing that is said or shown in the film, but by and large, I regard that as a great film, and a film like that can't convey the whole of the man, and even a book of 700 pages can't convey the whole of a man. But on the whole, if you want to know the whole of the man, perhaps this book is preferable to that wonderful film. But, you know, how do I hope for the world's understanding of Gandhi to alter as a result of this book? I don't know. Let me be very, very frank. My main aim in writing this book was to share with as many people as I could, with posterity if you like, my truthful understanding of the man, obtained through years of research, reflection, cogitation, and study, and with some new material too that I had. I had no other greater purpose than that. I wanted the truth about the man to be known in as complete detail as possible. My feeling is that when more people discover that, they will identify with this human being and discover the remarkable beings they themselves are capable of. And they will feel empowered, enabled, certainly inspired to do the very great things that at times they feel called to do, but at other times they are too afraid to embark upon. So it is to, you might say, to discover, to enable the reader to discover the potential, quote unquote, Gandhi in him or her, that I wrote the book.
Professor, thank you for being here. Just to maybe pursue that a little bit more, I wondered about your assessment of Gandhi's life and influence, its continuing influence, particularly today in India and here in the United States as well, if you could share that assessment with us.
Thank you for that very important question. By the way, when Reverend Otis Moss was speaking about the intermediaries between Gandhi and King, I said to myself, this man should be in India, Otis Moss, because India needs to learn also now about Gandhi, all over again. Gandhi is on every currency bill in India. Gandhi's face is there. So many Gandhi statues are there. Most Indians think that they know about Gandhi, that they don't need to read about him, of course. They don't need to study. They get Gandhi through osmosis. And they also don't like some of the things that Gandhi said. That you must coexist with, tolerate, listen to, work with, partner with people of a kind you don't like. No, we like our angers, we like our bitterness. We want to hang on to our selective history, and we want to take revenge for what happened in the past. So there is this, and it's not just in one section, it's in many sections. So Gandhi, Indians are very proud of him. Gandhi is known all over the world. When the Attenborough film was made, Indians in the United States were excited. Wonderful. The whole of the US is so proud now, of impressed with the man like Gandhi, therefore impressed with India too. But now, Bollywood is there, and the nuclear bomb is there, and the Indian economy is there, so we don't need Gandhi. The world is impressed with India anyway. That is one view, but that is also only one part of the story. Do you know there's a movie called Lage Raho Munna Bhai? It's a film about Gandhi, done in a very unexpected way, about how a criminal in Bombay, through encounters with Gandhi, changes his life, solves problems, and do you know it became the biggest box office hit? So despite the anger that many people in India do express about Gandhi, he remains the most loved, challenging, uncomfortable figure, but yet he's a figure that Indians are obliged to encounter and think about.
I was just curious personally about you, being the grandson of Gandhi. When did it hit you, at the time frame that you had with your grandfather, when did it hit you that Gandhi, your grandfather, was such a legend?
I was 12 and a half when he was killed. I was going to school in Delhi, which is where he had spent a good deal of his final period in life. Say half of his last 2 years were spent in different spells in Delhi where I was going to school, so I saw a fair amount of him during that time. I attended many of his multi-faith prayer meetings. Sometimes I saw him also with my parents and my siblings, privately, you might say, for a few minutes. Those were very rare and precious occasions. Before that, when my grandfather and grandmother were both in prison in Pune, in so-called Aga Khan Palace, but it was a prison, my grandmother was dying, and I went to see, along with my parents and my siblings, went to see her before she died. The British allowed us to do that. When did I first feel or learn that he was some kind of incredible figure? I would say it was during those final months in India, in New Delhi, before he was killed, and while I was going to school at the age of 10, 11, 12, because I was often at these encounters that he had with hundreds, sometimes thousands of people. Sometimes there were unhappy and angry people who felt that he had not been able to protect their families, protect their loved ones. They did not like that in his multi-faith prayers he included a recitation from the Quran, the opening chapter, the Al-Fatiha from the Quran, which, by the way, is something that everybody should read, the opening chapter of the Quran and what it says.